77 years, one organization, and it took until right now, 2026, to get here. The National Wrestling Alliance returned to broadcast television in 30 years. Their first impression to a new audience, their opening statement, and they chose to make history. They chose to open with a history-making moment to get eyes into the product, which is smart. The question is just what she won. The question is, does NWA made the impact they hope they make? So let's talk about it. Welcome to the Tea Drop, Strong Brew, No Soft Behavior. Today's drop, we are talking about Gisele Shaw, the quintessential diva, the first doll. She wins the NWA World Women's Television Championship and rewrites 77 years of history. And we're going to go over it, how she earned this shot, what the win actually means, and then ask the question everyone else stopped short of, which is making history is the headline, booking history like it matters. That's the standard. So let's get into the drop. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Gisele Shaw. She is Filipino-Canadian. She trains under Lance Storm, by the way, at the Storm Wrestling Academy in Calgary. And that started in 2014. Her pro debut was January of 2015 on the Canadian indie circuit. She did the grind for 2 years on shows nobody was watching. She gets good. By 2019, she's in the UK wrestling scene, which at that time was producing some of the finest women wrestling on the planet. She doesn't just show up. She becomes a 2-time Rep Pro, undisputed British Women's Champion. On her first reign alone, she had 359 days. She becomes a Progress Women's Champion. She becomes an Eve Tag Champion. She has championship reigns on 3 continents before she even touches NWA soil. She lands in TNA in 2022. It's title shots against Deonna Purrazzo, Mickey James, Jordan Grace. Wins the Ultimate X match at Hard to Kill in 2024. Officially becomes the #1 contender for the Knockout World Championship. And in 2022, she comes out publicly as a transgender woman. She doesn't slow down. She continues accelerating. She leaves TNA in September of 2024, goes back to her roots in Canada, wins the tournament, beats Kylie Ray in the final, becomes the inaugural MLP Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling Women's Canadian Championship at the Matami Athletic Center, the former Maple Leaf Gardens, on May 10th of last year. Then defends it everywhere. She defends it against Shotzi Blackheart, Priscilla Kelly, Deonna Purrazzo, twice may I add. She goes to Mexico, Rome, Georgia, Las Vegas, Montreal, 3 countries in her first year as champion. By the time she steps into the NWA ring, she is working, defending, multi-country champion with a decade of mat work underneath her. Her whole accolades is all there. Now, here's where the NWA context matters. Tiffany Nieves, La Princesa, has been NWA World Women's Television Champion since February 2nd of 2025. At the time of this match, she holds the gold for 426 days, which is the longest reign in the title's history up to that point. She's building towards a lucky 7 narrative. 7 consecutive defenses earns a guaranteed NWA World Championship match. Now, this has become, when it comes to that storyline, an invested, multi-layered booking type of storyline, and proves that she's not just a placeholder when it comes to the company. She's the most dominant figure in the women's division at this time. And then Gisele Shaw walks in. Shaw debuts in December of 2025 in NWA. Her first match in NWA, she challenges Natalia Markova for the NWA World Women's Championship on debut. Markova retains, but you don't hand the debut slot in a world title match to just be a filler. Her third television appearance for the company, she's in the main event of the Comet TV premiere. Neves has Samantha Starr at ringside The interference factor became a real thing when it came to this match. It wasn't a clean environment. Shaw is walking into the Lion's Den with a 426 champion who has every structural advantage. She weathers it. She absorbs the interference. She does not break. And then she does a move she calls the denouement knee. 1, 2, 3. And we have a new NWA World Women's Champion. And the NWA immediately drops this language. The quintessential era has begun. It's not a minor press release thing. It becomes the company's naming of an era. They are putting promotional weight behind her as the new champion. Then Tiffany Nieves goes to Shaw's Instagram after her broadcast and writes, "Wow, despise you even more," and puts an emoji, a devil's emoji. If that is not an old school heel acknowledgement of a babyface victory, I don't know what is at this point. But Neves plays her character all the way to the finish line, and respect to her for her craft. Now, 77 years. Like I said, the weight of it, Shawn's own words, dignity, not exploitation. The National Wrestling Alliance was founded in 1948. 7 years of championship, men's, women's, tags, regional titles. The full ecosystem of professional wrestling history is there. And in all 77 of those years, this is the first time an out transgender woman has held any NWA championship of any kind. Not even close. First time. Her words posted directly after the broadcast aired, and I need you to pay attention to how she says it. She writes, "First doll to win any NWA championship. The quintessential era has begun. My name forever etched in NWA wrestling history. Cannot wait to keep building a legacy to be remembered for many years to come." And that was on Gisele's X. My name forever etched in NWA wrestling history. That is a wrestler who understands exactly what she did. 2 things can be right at the same time when it comes to this. The milestone is real, and Gisele Shaw is legitimately one of the most credentialed, most well-traveled women's wrestler working anywhere in the world right now. She has title reigns in her record in the UK, in Canada, the US, and defended across all those countries as well. And sometimes within the single year. She earned the shot in every building she walked into. The historic designation adds weight. The work underneath it is why she got the shot in the first place. All right, so here's another thing. Making history is to set the headline, booking history like it matters. That's the standard. When the NWA did the right thing by putting the belt on Gisele Shaw. Now, they have to prove they understood why they did it, though. Here's the real receipt of this belt. It has turbulence in its early years, a series of short reigns before Tiffany Nieves stabilized everything with the 426 days that gave it genuine significance as a belt. Shaw now inherits a championship with real value. Does she add to the value, or does the momentum dissipate? That's going to define her career. So hopefully they do her justice for her during her reign. And let me be direct. She is running one of the heaviest schedules in independent wrestling right now. She's NWA TV champion. She's MLP Canadian champion. Still defending it regularly. She's made appearances in CMLL and Progress Wrestling. The last time she was there, she was at Super Strong Style in May this month. She's making it to the finals before losing to Rio of a Strong Style 16 tournament. That's the level of activity that's very impressive if you think about it. It also means that the NWA needs to feature their champion, not just collect highlights when she passes through. Now, here's the bigger question. The NWA used the word era, not reign, era. An era is not a placeholder. An era means continuity, story, purpose. Does Shaw get the World Women's Championship program her credentials already justify? The booking decision in the next 90 days probably will tell us everything we need to know. Wrestling history is full of moments. That should have mattered. The NWA has a window right now. A historic champion, a legitimate title, and a new broadcast deal in front of new eyes. Don't waste the window. That's all I have to say. Gisele Shaw, the quintessential diva, the first doll, made NWA history on April 4th, 2020, Forney, Texas. In only her third NWA television appearance, ending a 126-day record reign. First out trans woman to hold any championship in 77 years of NWA history. The work is real. The moment is real. The question is what the NWA does next. And I am fully interested in seeing what happens next. Maybe they can do better booking than WWE can. I really hope so. 3 questions for you guys, and drop your answers below. 1. Does NWA have the booking infrastructure to build this into a real long-term run, or does the multi-promotional schedule become a limitation? 2. Is Tiffany Nieves the right anchor for the rematch story, or does Shaw need a fresh challenger to establish herself as champion in her own right? And 3. With the NWA TV title and the MLP Canadian Championship, is Gisele Shaw the most decorated, active champion in independent women's wrestling right now? Let me know below. As always, if the T hit right, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.